of mountains, sand, and surf. But today the feeling is as intense and pounding as the waves on the North Shore. The traffic has been backed up since early this morning as a sellout crowd waited to make its way into Aloha Stadium for what is being billed as the biggest sporting event ever staged in the state of Hawaii. The Warriors are 10-0. A win today and they capture their first outright WAC championship and remain alive for a berth in a BCS Bowl. Boise State is 10-1. They've won 5 straight conference championships. A win means a 6th and perhaps sets up a return to a BCS Bowl game for the Broncos. 2 teams with it all on the line. Friday Night Football next. Aloha Stadium has been sold out for weeks, and literally it is shaking in anticipation of what Coach June Jones calls the biggest football game in Warrior history as Hawaii hosts the Boise State Broncos with the WAC conference title on the line. It's the conference ender for both teams, each a perfect 7-0. And it's the final regular season game for Boise State. Their only loss overall to Washington. Hawaii will close out its regular season hosting Washington next weekend. And here come the Warriors, 10-0 for the first time since 1925. Hello everyone and welcome to this great atmosphere. I'm Sean McDonough along with Chris Spielman. Delighted to have you with us for what WAC Commissioner Carl Benson calls the biggest football game in the history of the Western Athletic Conference. 2 teams playing for the conference title, playing to remain alive with a chance at a BCS Bowl game and playing what has become the arch rival for each. And Chris, Hawaii, 11-game winning streak dating back to last year. They're one of only 2 unbeaten teams in the country with Kansas. June Jones says if they win them all, the last 2, he believes they'll play in a BCS Bowl game, but so much to play for today.
Well, absolutely, and it goes on the arm of Colt Brenna. When you take a look at Colt, it's a night of opportunity, a night to break individual records, a night to get back in the Heisman hunt. But most importantly, it's a night to lead the Warriors into history, as you mentioned, Sean, with their first WAC championship and to stay alive in the BCS.
A subplot, perhaps the chance to resuscitate his Heisman hopes in this big game on national TV. Brennan played only 2 snaps last week at Nevada as he recovered from a concussion suffered 2 weeks ago. Coach Jones thinks he's fine and ready to go today. Meanwhile, Boise State, the dominant team in this conference. They've won 46 of their last 47 in the WAC. They have their biggest weapon back at full health, Ian Johnson.
Yeah, Ian Johnson is a tremendous college football player. He has great balance and great vision, a very patient runner. And why Ian Johnson has so much success is not because of his individual skill alone, but because he has a bunch of mammoth offensive linemen that play dirty and nasty. I'm so excited for this game. I'm telling you, in the famous words of Mills Lane, let's get it on. Let's go.
Perhaps the man most excited for this game is Hawaii coach June Jones. He's down on the field with Quint Kesenick.
Thank you, Sean. Absolutely electric down here. Coach, describe this atmosphere.
Well, it's very similar to when we played BYU, I think, in 2001, when they were a top 10 team. And, you know, there's a lot of emotion, a lot of feeling for the other team, and so I think we've kind of created a monster.
You addressed your team last night. What was the most important thing you told them?
Well, we kind of worked all year to get to this point. The last 2 games with the chance to win them both, and you know, the kids have hung together through a lot of adversity, a lot of different difficult situations, and they deserve to be here tonight, and hopefully they're going to play good.
Thanks, Coach. Sean.
Thanks.
Hawaii and Boise State, the winner with the WAC championship outright. Chris Peterson and the Boise State Broncos won the toss and elected to receive. Peterson in his 2nd year, 23-1 as head coach of the Broncos. Dan Kelly will kick off, the hero of last week's win at Nevada that kept all of their hopes alive. He kicked a field goal with 11 seconds to go in Reno to beat the Nevada Wolfpack. His kickoff down to Rashawn Scott. And he's driven down at the 24-yard line. Here's the Boise State starting lineup introduced by their outstanding athletic director, Gene Blameyer.
Aloha Boise. Our high-powered offense is led today by 5 seniors. At quarterback, Taylor Tharp, and at tight end, Ryan Putnam. Our offensive line led by seniors Dan Gore, Jeff Cavender, and Tad Miller. Go Broncos!
Gene Playmeyer, the man who brought the blue turf to Boise, one of the signatures of the program. He is the first quarterback ever to make his first start for the Broncos as a senior. And the handoff to Ian Johnson, and he's tripped up behind the line of scrimmage for a loss. Michael Lafaeli, their outstanding defensive tackle, nose guard, made the stop. The Hawaii defense introduced by Vili the Warrior.
Leading by the stalwart defense in the middle, number 67, Michael Lafaeli. The middle linebackers, number 17, he's nasty. Solomon Alamimet is behind that defensive back. He'll hit you, he's a hit man. Jacob Ponte,
I want him as a dinner guest.
Oh, he's the 12th man on the field. Team mascot for the last 9 years. Deafening noise, 3rd down and 5. Tharp gets it off, 1st down and more, out to the 30. It's Julian Hawkins with his 16th catch of the year. He hit 3 last week in their easy win against Idaho. They've averaged over 50 per game in their last 3 wins, but Tharp and the Broncos facing a much improved Hawaii defense this year, and they know it. The Hawaii defense is 32nd in the nation.
Well, if they get that kind of protection, Boise State's passing game uses the whole field, and Taylor Tharp will find the open receiver when given time.
Tharp averaging 258 yards per game passing, completing 69% of his passes, and he has one of the best running backs in the country to hand it off to as well. Ian Johnson, 2nd in the WAC at 105 yards per game. He ran for about 8 out to the 38, where David Vekune, a fine defensive end, made the stop.
Well, if you're Hawaii, what you want to do is you understand what kind of offense you're playing, and you don't get upset if they move the ball a little bit. But you have to be able to tighten up at some times. But if you're giving up 9 yards on 1st down, that plays into the hands of the multiple Boise offense.
Richie Brockel, the tight end who doubles as a fullback when in motion and set. Play action pass by Tharp. They are a great play action team, and this pass is broken up by Gerard Lewis. Intended for Titus Young, the freshman from Los Angeles.
This is the biggest game for Titus Young. The most energy, the most atmosphere, adrenaline running. He runs a nice route, and he works himself back to the football like you're supposed to. Lewis a pretty good break, but Titus Young gets the ball. Normally he does. And I guarantee you he will before the night is over.
Young was highly recruited, and a chance to go to Oregon, Washington State chose Boise State for the chance to play right away. Johnson carries for the 1st down and 3rd and 2. Boise State lost 3 wide receivers off their Fiesta Bowl championship team of last year when they went 13-0, the only undefeated team in the country. And here's Ian Johnson ripping through. He may go inside the 10. Touchdown, Boise State.
That's what a healthy Ian Johnson can do. That's the patience and burst. Talking to Hawaii defense yesterday, follow the pullers. They'll take you to the ball, and you're going to see the pullers come. They will take you to the ball, and if you're late, Kaliki Moku gets knocked off, and it's off to the races. Ian Johnson breaks one tackle, and you see the ability to finish.
Kyle Brotzman, perfect on the year, 59 out of 59 in PATs now. 50-yard touchdown run for Ian Johnson. His 16th touchdown rushing of the year. He's 10th in the nation, averaging 10 points per game. Over 3,300 career yards. Kyle Brotzman kicks off. A line drive down to the 6-yard line to Malcolm Lane. And he's out to the 29. Lane 5th in the nation in kickoff returns. Here's the starting lineup for Hawaii, presented by XM and introduced by Vili the Warrior.
On offense, holding it down for the 808. Boise State, number 15, Colt Brenna. And wide receivers, number 7, he's Grady. It's exciting. Devon Bass. Oh, offensive line, they're nasty. Lead up front by Hercules Satele and King Pasu.
I think they need to get him out of the mascot outfit and into a football uniform. Ball spotted at the 30 for Colt Brennan. Familiar run and shoot set of 4 wide receivers. And that pass incomplete, intended for Ryan Grice-Mullen. Marty Tadman had the coverage. Here's Quint Kesnick.
Sean, a little interesting after that Ian Johnson touchdown. Colt Brennan stands up behind the bench, grabs the ball, a bunch of wide receivers, and just starts firing, starts warming up all over again. Tossed the ball for about 5 minutes straight to try to find his rhythm. Clearly right now, he has not found it yet.
Well, these receivers and Colt Brennan will not panic. They believe in themselves and they believe in the system. The receivers are such an important part because they read the coverage on the run. And Colt reads what they read, and that's why they're so successful on the offensive side of the ball.
Brennan 1 out of 4 for his career, 70% accuracy. Devon Bess gang tackled. It's another key from Coach Peterson. He said we must tackle their receivers and eliminate as much run after the catch as we can. That time Rashawn Scott did a nice job of that.
Exactly right, and not just tackle with one guy, because sometimes guys will miss open field tackles in space. But right there you saw a group of blue helmets swarming to the treasure, which is the ball.
Dallas Dobbs, the linebacker, has been hampered lately by a sprained ankle. Also in on that play. So here's another 3rd down for Hawaii. And a quick throw, a timing play, and it is caught for a 1st down by Jason Rivers. 48 straight games with at least a catch now for Jason Rivers, the senior from here in Oahu, and that's the longest active streak in the nation and the longest in the history of the WAC.
And what a way to catch it. They threw a nice little fade stop. Colt Brennan aims for the back shoulder of the DB's on top. And you see, they'll read it. The DB's on top like he is. They'll throw it behind. Virtually impossible to defend by Skandrick.
Orlando Skandrick is a good corner. Brennan with all day to throw, and he's going deep, throwing into double coverage, and it is caught. The receiver won the battle. C.J. Hawthorne, the converted defensive back, beat Jason Robinson and Rashawn Scott. There is a flag thrown well behind the line of scrimmage. If it stands, it's a 42-yarder, and it's going to be against Boise State.
Get extra yards. Roughing the passer, that will be added to the yard. But great job of C.J. Hawthorne adjusting to the ball. Defensive backs got to read the receiver's eyes. If he stops, you stop. Turn and adjust and play the football. And you see the roughing right there. It's a little ticky-tack for me, but what isn't? Right here, C.J. going up and making a play. Getting high in the sky.
Joe Bazikovich called for a late hit. Hawthorne, the fastest of their 4 starting wide receivers. Played cornerback last year. June Jones said because they needed him over there. But he's been a boost to their offense. 48 catches entering today's action. 1st and goal. Brennan, corner of the end zone. Juggling catch. Touchdown. Ryan Grice-Mullen. I wonder if they'll review it. Looked like he might have been juggling it as he went across the sideline with Wilson and Tadman in coverage.
See it right here. Best low. Grice-Mullen high. There's the ball.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Apparently the replay booth has seen enough to confirm the call on the field because they're not stopping the action. And the extra point is up and good by Dan Kelly, and it's a tie game. 6-yard touchdown pass. And Colt Brennan moves out of the tie with Ty Detmer. He's all alone now. More touchdown passes than anybody in the history of major college football. 122. We have a tie game for the WAC title.
Don McDonough, Chris Spielman, Clint Kesnick back at Aloha Stadium, where Colt Brenna continues to add to his tremendous career accomplishments. The touchdown pass, 122nd of his career. Last season, the single season mark that'll probably never be broken, 58 TD passes. And a little controversy. That streak of 34 straight games with 200 yards or more ended last week in Nevada. Colt Brennan was not expected to play at all in that game. Tyler Gronke started. Brennan came in the first series, threw 2 passes and did not return. So he lost that string of 200-yard games, and he also lost his string of 34 games in a row with a touchdown pass, and that was one off Ty Detmer's all-time record. Kelly's kickoff down to Rashawn Scott. He's to the 21-yard line. Third and 9, lots of time, a man open and a first down. Jeremy Childs out across the 40-yard line. That's his 3rd catch of the game, and that sets the single season Boise State reception record, his 77th catch of his sophomore season, breaking Mike Wilson's reception mark. He had 76 grabs back in 1992.
Again, I love the timing of this offense. That ball's in the air before Childs is out of his break, and it's very difficult on a DB. DB doesn't know. He's trying to get depth because he got deep third. The ball's coming, and he's breaking late.
Childs also has a shot at Tim Gilligan's single season receiving yardage record, which is 1,192. Johnson dragging tacklers with him to the 45. Under duress, the pass batted down and almost intercepted. Knocked down by Keala Watson. And it'll be 3rd down.
Sean, this is Boise's biggest test. We talk about this being Hawaii's biggest test. Boise has not faced a defense in or out of the conference with the speed and the tenacity of the Warrior defense. And they just keep coming and coming and coming. And they're getting the pass rush, disrupting the timing of this Boise offense, especially on the short passing game.
Good play there by Watson, a good student, 3.6 grade point average in environmental studies. 3rd and 6, and far incomplete. Looking for Titus Young at midfield. Ryan Mouton again had the coverage.
Might want to play that again. I wouldn't, though, because you only had 10 defenders out on the field. And they got away with one right there, and I'm surprised that Boise did pick that up. We're only able to rush 3. You had a defensive lineman or linebacker run out late. We're going to see a player run out late. You have a player running out late. That relieves 10. You only have 3 guys rushing. Pretty darn good coverage. You might want to go back to that, Coach Mack. I wouldn't.
Brotzman has become the punter as well. Earlier in the year, Brad Elkin was their punter, but Brotzman, the low rugby style punt, and it's going to be a beauty. Rolling down near the 5. And down by Austin Smith at the 4-yard line, a 50-yard punt. Brian Grice Mullen wide open and out to the 33-yard line. They got out of the hole in a hurry on a 29-yard strike thrown by Colt Brenna.
You know, Colt gets criticized a little bit by those who don't see him play every week and don't watch the film. I'm telling you, he's the most accurate passer in college football. There's a throw that he can't make, and I realize he's a system guy. He realizes he's a system guy, but guess what? You still have to deliver the ball with some velocity and on target, and he does.
Boone Jones played quarterback in the NFL, coached quarterbacks, was a head coach in the NFL, and he compares Brennan's accuracy to Dan Marino and Jeff George. Here's Jason Rivers cutting across the field. He paid the price for his 8-yard gain. Nick Schleckaway sent him Schleckaway to the turf.
I mean, if you're going to run close and you're playing against a hustling hoss like Schleckaway, I mean, Big Schleckaway is not going to run that far and not hit something. And wow. Just how you're supposed to do it. Brought that cast. It looked like he brought the cast as an extra little weapon to help bring him down. Got a way to play, Nick. Way to run.
Local guy from the Boise area. 3-year starter, graduated from Eagle High School, #1 in his class with a perfect 4.0 grade point average, just like Chris Spielman. 2nd and 2. Brennan on target again. 1st down out to the 49-yard line to Jason Rivers, who missed some practice time this week with a headache. He took a shot last week at Nevada and did not practice a couple of days ago. Brandon Thompson took him out of bounds.
We were at practice yesterday morning, and we're watching the receivers. They have all quarterbacks in their warm-up drills. Everybody runs their routes, and all the quarterbacks throw the ball. That ball does not hit the ground, no matter who the quarterback is or who the receiver is. And that's the standard that June has set for his receivers and quarterbacks. Perfection, and they're pretty close to it.
Final seconds of the opening quarter. 1st and 10 Hawaii from its own 49-yard line. The winner wins the WAC title outright. Jason Rivers battling at 6'2", 189 pounds. Kyle Ging and Jason Robinson made the tackle. Robinson starting at safety today for Jerron Johnson, who is out with a hip and back injury. A gain of 15 and a 1st down.
Now this is what the Warrior offense does. They hit you on the 8-yard route. They hit you on the 12-yard, 8-yard, 12-yard, and before you know it, there goes the 32 or 40-yard route over your head. So you got to stay disciplined and be patient. Right now they're finding a hole between the safeties and the linebackers.
Likely the final play of the 1st quarter if they get it off, and they will not. Great atmosphere. It is a title game, and the atmosphere reflects it. Boise State scored first. Ian Johnson, a 50-yard touchdown run to make it 7-0 Broncos. But Colt Brennan set another record with a touchdown pass to tie it. Ready for the start of the 2nd quarter. In that 1st quarter, which ended at 7-all, Hawaii threw 12 passes. Did not run one running play. This possession started at their own 5. They've moved the ball 59 yards in 4 plays as Brennan is 4 for 4 in the drive. The last 3 have gone to Rivers. Colt can run. He's across the line. You know they have to have their hearts in their throats as he runs 2 weeks after that concussion. But he ran for 12 and a 1st down before Kyle Ging got him on the ground.
Yeah, a couple reasons why he goes for 12. David Farmer has been in there a lot to help with pass protection. He's the big S-back, the super back, what's called a run and shoot. Plus, Boise's going to play a lot of man-to-man. They feel like they can go athlete for athlete. Well, if you break to the 2nd level, they're in man-to-man. Everybody's backs are turned. Colt can hurt you and will hurt you with his feet, but he's got to learn to slide, Sean.
And that'll go in the books as their 1st run, but obviously it was intended to be a pass play. On the 24 of Boise State. 1st and 10 Hawaii. Quick little hitter to C.J. Hawthorne. He can fly. Upended and down at the 1. Orlando Scandrick came off his man in the end zone and ran out just outside the goal line to save the touchdown. 23 yards, 1st and goal, Hawaii.
You might ask yourself why Scandrick was so late coming off, because what they're doing is they're playing zone to the 3 receiver side and manning up the backside. Once C.J. Hawthorne gets to the man side, Scandrick is still trying to take Rivers and allows Hawthorne to get to the 2. But speed kills.
Boise State does historically play more man-to-man defense against Hawaii than most of the teams the Warriors play. Brennan keeps and scores. Touchdown, Hawaii. Brennan's 8th rushing touchdown of the season. And Kelly's extra point is blocked. This has happened in the past in these Boise State games against Hawaii. They returned a blocked extra point for 2 points last year. That ball got knocked out of bounds after Kyle Ging picked it up. So this is history repeating itself. And it's the 10th block kick by the Broncos this year. Kyle Wilson blocked it.
So Kyle Wilson coming inside, then gets waylaid from the backside. But you want to protect your inside gap. They'll never block it from around end, but they will block it inside.
Boise State with 10 blocks this year. Well, good news as we welcome you back to Honolulu. Kyle Wilson injured after blocking the extra point. Got up and walked off the field under his own power and appears to be okay. For the last couple of years, when Hawaii has lost a 7-point game and a 3-point game to Boise State, problems on special teams have really played a huge role, and this has to feel like deja vu for June Jones.
Yeah, you get the feeling the way this game's going, and every point matters.
And Kelly, who had the extra point block, kicks it off, and it's Rashawn Scott from the 8. Across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Well, these two teams playing for the WAC title. Tharp throws it to Ian Johnson, and he goes for 13. Jeremy Avery in a running back now on 1st and 10 from the 43 for Boise State. The play action pass for Taylor Tharp, and a completion to one of the 4 tight ends they use regularly. That's Richie Brockle for another first down. Boise State trying to answer quickly after Hawaii has taken the lead. Chris Peterson, 42 years old, out of UC Davis, where he's an outstanding all-conference quarterback. And is in the UC Davis Hall of Fame, an 88 grad of UC Davis. Jeremy Avery straight ahead. And the redshirt freshman stopped after a gain of 3. Coach Peterson was the offensive coordinator, then elevated to head coach when Dan Hawkins left and went to Colorado. And all Chris has done is win 23 out of 24 in his 2 seasons. Had the only undefeated team in the country last year. First coach since 1900 to win 13 in his first year.
Just an amazing job of just building on the system and living up to the traditions and standards that were set before him.
He really got a lot of attention for that imaginative play calling at the end of the Fiesta Bowl win over Oklahoma. There's a strike by Tharp and another first down. They continue to convert. That was 2nd and long, and Jeremy Childs beat Desmond Thomas for a 19-yard gain on 2nd down and 18.
Well, Elimimium gets sucked up into play action because Childs is going to hit right where Elimimium is supposed to be. You see Elimimium trying to jump, but too late. And when you have that type of cushion between the linebackers and safeties, taking candy from the proverbial baby.
Elimimian 14th in the nation in tackles, 10.6 per game. Ian Johnson lined up to take a direct snap in the quarterback position in the shotgun, and he got chopped down. Great reaction by Desmond Thomas and Solomon Elimimian.
I don't know if I like that with Boise, Sean, because Ian Johnson likes to have the ball deep in the backfield. When you take a direct snap and you're about 5 yards deep, it doesn't give him time to use his strengths. His strengths are his vision and his patience and his burst, and it doesn't allow him to set up the blocks. He's not a Darren McFadden back there. He's a tailback and a pounder and a slasher inside.
Well, they had a reputation for trick plays that was enhanced at the end of that Fiesta Bowl win over Oklahoma. 3rd down and 10. Tharp with a lot of time. Nowhere to throw it. Still looking. Has men now. First down, Ian Johnson out of the backfield inside the 2. And credit Tharp and the offensive line for keeping that play alive long enough to get somebody open.
Well, this is a good job of Taylor Tharp of staying patient. Hawaii's in the cover 2 deep look, and they're just playing and locking up zone man to man. Ian Johnson staying alive right there, finding the empty spot in the zone, and Taylor Tharp trusting his guy to get open. Makes a tough throw across the body, but a throw that was on target.
First and goal for Boise State. The touchdown and the extra point would give them the lead. The pitch to Johnson, bounces into the end zone. Boy, did he read that beautifully. Touchdown Broncos, an extra point away from the lead.
And a great job of Putnam right there, sealing the outside defender, defensive end for Hawaii. Made the cut one cut and easy for Ian Johnson, but Putnam doing his job right here. Watch him come and seal. He makes a nice little wall. Bronco gets the block. Putnam sealing inside. Well executed, and that's what they do and do it well.
An extra point play is a big factor in the recent meetings between these two teams. And here's Kyle Brotzman with the PAT for the lead. The former walk-on redshirt freshman who's missed only one kick all year, a field goal, puts the Broncos up by 1. Some of the best surfing in the world not far from Aloha Stadium. 81 degrees at kickoff with a gusty wind. You can really hear it through our microphones from time to time. It's a very high stadium all the way around. It doesn't seem to be as windy on the field. Certainly isn't having much of an effect on these two passers. Boise State nearly a 4-1 edge in time of possession. And Johnson's touchdown, the extra point by Brotzman, has put the Broncos back up by 1. Short kickoff, Ryan Mouton on the run. And he's out to the 33-yard line. Running back is Kealoha Polaris, a freshman. He stayed in the block, and it's a first down to the 49-yard line to Ryan Grice-Mullen. He's a junior from Rialto, California. 8 yards and a first down.
Excellent read by Colt Brenna. Again, there's not too many things that this offense has not seen that they don't know how to attack. And if it's something new or unique, believe me, the man on the sidelines, June Jones, will have an answer in a heartbeat.
June Jones, one of 14 head coaches at this level of college football, who doubles as offensive coordinator and calls the plays. David Farmer is the running back. He stays in the block, and Brennan just did get it off, and it's incomplete. Broken up by Dallas Dobbs. Intended for Devon Bess. Well, it's quite a trio of receivers with whom Brennan has to work, and with whom he's worked for a while. Combined entering today's game, Bess, Grice-Mullen, and Rivers, 739 catches for over 10,000 yards and 105 receiving touchdowns.
That's just a mind-boggling number to think how productive this unit has been, and the fact that they've stayed healthy, because they do take shots.
There are 7 active receivers in the country with 3,000 receiving yards. Hawaii has 3 of the 7. Brennan throws, and the yardage total grows for Rivers. He goes to the 37-yard line. Standrick and Robinson made the tackle, a 14-yard gain.
Starts up front with the protection, and Colt Brennan does a great job of pocket presence. This is what the NFL guys are going to look at, is pocket presence, where he'll move around, find the throwing lane, and you see Rivers not settling down. He has Ging coming over there, and he just scoots inside Ging. And Colt Brennan has the patience and the trust in his offensive lineman to wait for Rivers to go to the middle of the field, and he delivers on time.
Under 7 minutes to go. The shovel pass to the freshman Polaris. He's missed the last couple of weeks with a bad knee. He looked fully healthy there. Austin Smith made the tackle. Polaris didn't make the trip to Reno last week as he rehabbed the knee. His parents still went on the trip. He said they had a great time cheering for my team, even though I didn't play.
Well, it's a nice call by June Jones. I mean, that's the first real run that they've had. I know it goes down as an attempt, but basically an inside run. And when you have Boise pinning the ears back, coming for pass rush, it's a nice little changeup to slow him down a little bit.
13 yards on that completion. Polaris battling a sprained right MCL. He practiced with a brace during the week, but has taken it off for the game. Hawthorne retreated, cost himself a couple of yards. Went almost back to the line of scrimmage, a gain of 1. Austin Smith having a nice game at safety. The senior from San Bernardino, California, made the tackle.
You have a big play mentality like these wide receivers. Sometimes they make poor decisions. Right there, CJ. You got it at 5. Turn around and get 7. Don't worry about going the distance. Turn around and get 7.
This has been an important possession for Hawaii for no other reason, even if they don't score, and they are at least in field goal range, that they are keeping their defense off the field for a prolonged period of time, and they needed the rest. Second down 9. Hawaii on the move, down by a point. Under 6 minutes to go in the half. There's a strike by Brennan inside the 5. Touchdown, Devon Bess.
Kyle Gang can't hang. Right there, he's playing zone, nothing in front. You got to continue to get depth, and they're just picking them apart between that level of the linebackers and the safeties. Then you have a tough guy coming off the concussion, have people in his face, yet delivers a strike, and Devon Bess showing some power and determination.
And that extra point is deflected and no good. So it's a second missed extra point. This time Jason Robinson came through and got a piece of it. Well, earlier this season, Kelly made 50 extra points in a row. The Hawaii record, he broke Jason Elam's record. They blocked 2 here today. 19-14 Hawaii. Austin Smith bringing back Dan Kelly's kickoff, trying to go all the way across the field. And the tackle made by Timo Peapule at the 15, perhaps the 16-yard line. Well, when you're winning virtually every game, you have to be sound in all facets, and Boise State is. Ian Johnson dropped for a loss, tripped up back at the 26-yard line by John Finoti. They roll in 9 or 10 defensive linemen. Blaze Suarez also in on the play, and you love him playing with just about every injury you can have.
Yeah, you can see he's Dr. Bionicle Man right there. You see that? He's got the cast on, the shoestrings, the old leather. That's to keep his shoulder from rising above his head. But he's a tough kid, and he's only going to get better. Talking to Coach Mack about him yesterday. He's got a bright future in this program.
Shoulder injury, the biggest problem. He's battled a hamstring as well. Loss of 3 on first down. 2:36 to go, and the clock running in the half. A blitz. Tharp got it off, and it is caught by Austin Pettis. Looked like he was going to drop it. Hit off his hands, went back in the air, and he still corralled it. He's a freshman from Anaheim, the nephew of the former excellent Major League Baseball outfielder Gary Pettis.
Right there, he stayed with the fly ball. I like what Hawaii's doing. What they're doing is they're blitz and forcing Boise to throw the ball early because of the pressure. They're bringing more than Boise can block. So for Boise to blitz and control, they've got to break their routes off, and Hawaii just breaks on them to make the tackle.
Pettis came out. He's been their leading receiver the last 3 games. Deafening noise and a blitz on 3rd down and 9. Tharp, end zone, and it is incomplete. And no flags thrown. Ryan Mouton broke it up. It was intended for Titus Young.
Again, the blitz and playing man. Athlete for athlete. Good job by the Boise team to pick up the blitz. The offensive line. Tharp missed the open guide. He had Hawkins open early. He waited for Young, which allowed Mouton to come through and make a play and get in the line of vision.
39-yard attempt for Brotzman. He's 10 for 10 inside 40 this year. 13 out of 14 for the year. Only 1 miss, and it was a block. And that one's good. Well, Brennan trying to fire up the fans as he and the Warriors head to the locker room with a 19-17 lead. Now, Reese Davis, Mark May, Lou Holtz. It's the college football halftime show. And welcome back to Aloha Stadium. A sellout crowd. It's been sold out for weeks. Hawaii had 2 extra points blocked in the first half. So often when you miss an extra point, it comes back to haunt you. We'll see if that's the case for the Warriors, who will get the ball first here in the second half. Malcolm Lane back to take the kickoff from Kyle Brotzman. One half to be played to determine the WAC outright conference champion and keep one of these 2 teams alive in a potential bid to a BCS bowl game. Keenan Jones brought the kickoff back to the 29-yard line. A 22-yard return. Here's Quint Kesnick.
Sean, first of all, the bad news for Boise on the injury front. Tad Miller will not return. Rashawn Scott, cornerback, he will not return. Spoke to Chris Peterson, was not completely happy with their run game, feels they need to get in a little more rhythm there. Liked the pressure, though, that they got on Colt Brenna in late stages of the second quarter. For June Jones, deja vu all over again, complaining about his special teams play, pointing out that that has been the difference in this series the last 2 years.
Indeed, it has been. Brennan was a little bit off target his first few throws of the game, but then settled in. Went 20 for 27 for 241. 2 touchdowns and 1 interception in the first half. He goes out of the shotgun, and it's a shovel pass to Kealoha Polaris, former Hawaii High School State Player of the Year. Originally accepted an appointment to the Air Force Academy, but was not there for very long. Decided he didn't want to go to Colorado Springs. Came home here to play for the Warriors.
That shovel pass is designed, as Quint mentioned, the pressure that Boise's been bringing. Hopefully, if you run a shovel pass, if you're Hawaii, that will slow down the pressure from the front 4 of the Broncos, who are bringing it every single play.
3-yard gain on the shovel to Polaris. Hawaii leads 19-17. The opening minute of the second half. Oh, that run after the catch by Devon Bess. First down and more. Out to the 44-yard line, a gain of 11.
Did a little Ricky Bobby shake and bake on him right there. A little Talladega Nights. Dallas Dobbs has him in sight. And here comes the shake with the bake. Again, this is what he does best, run after catch. June Jones compared him to a stronger Andre Bad Mood Rising.
Yards after the catch up to 110 for Hawaii. Chris Peterson won't be happy with that number. He felt it was a key to the game. Tackle those receivers after the catch. You know they're going to get their catches. Devon Bess gets another one to the 41-yard line of Boise State. Marty Tadman, the All-American candidate safety, made the stop. He's their leading tackler for the year. Out of Mission Viejo, California. Now a senior. Young man who talks quite candidly about his battle with drugs and alcohol about 3.5 years ago. And totally changed his life. Is now a preacher. And is going to devote his life to the ministry when his football days are over. He'd first like to play in the NFL.
He's a good, solid football player, a smart football player.
Another quick throw and catch, and it's Jason Rivers down the far sideline, tackled by Austin Smith. But Hawaii impressively on the move to begin the second half. They're quickly at the Boise State 25-yard line.
Yeah, with time, he's dangerous. I mean, and Colt Brenna, again, I want to make this point because I made it in the first half, and I want to make it to those that are watching in the second half. You can say system quarterback, non-system quarterback. I'm here to tell you from my point of view, nobody's as good as he is that I've seen in the country because he's accurate, he's on time, and that ball is delivered with velocity.
And a very quick release. Ryan Grice Mullen takes all he can get and goes out at the 22-yard line. Here's Quint.
John, I called Mel Kiper early this morning, and he's like a cup of coffee with his energy, talking about Colt Brenna. Said he loves his quick release. It's a little sidearm, accurate, has the NFL arm. Question marks are that he is a system quarterback. He says there have been run and shoot guys in the past who haven't fared well in the NFL. David Klingler, Tim Couch, and the big question mark, he said last week when Tyler Gronke played, he put up big stats, and it's a tricky evaluation. He thinks that the all-star games and the combine will make the difference for Colt Brenna. Right now he has him as the 7th-rated senior QB.
All right, Quint, thank you. He swings it out the left flat to Devon Bess. Run after the catch. Leap into the end zone. Touchdown. Flag down in the end zone. Jason Rivers gave Bess a great block. And that's the 39th time Brennan to Bess for a touchdown, tying the all-time record. Now shared with Tim Rattay and Troy Edwards of Louisiana Tech. I think he's going to get penalized for unsportsmanlike for that unnecessary dive into the end zone. at the end of the run.
It's guys helping guys. Position helping position. Rivers was the guy that gets the assist on the touchdown. But it's Colt Brenna reading the defense, delivering the ball in stride so he doesn't have to work to catch it. And Rivers springing away for his partner, Devon Bess.
On a junior from Oakland. Spent some time as a young boy in a juvenile detention center. Actually, while he was in high school, he was going to go to Oregon State, got in some trouble, some friends, stole some goods. Bess says he unknowingly was helping them move it from one place to another. They all got in trouble. Bess wound up in a facility, and he sent a 7-on-7 tape from a football scrimmage from the juvenile detention center to Hawaii to get their attention. The extra point good. It's a 9-point lead for the Warriors.
That might become part of our workout routine right there, Sean.
Yeah, he looks like he's been on the Spielman workout plan. Looks like a dangerous occupation.
Got good feet, good hand-eye coordination. Just a really not a very smart play, to say the least, by Devon Bess. I understand emotion, but you have to be able to control your emotion because you put your team in difficult position, and Boise's had some good returns throughout tonight. They're going to get the ball here at least at the 45-yard line.
Ball teed up on the 15 because of the unsportsmanlike penalty. Dan Kelly, line drive kick that bounces out of bounds. Austin Smith let it go out. Well, it's hard to pass the 50-yard line. Starting field position. Taylor Tharp, 13 for 23, an interception, threw for 156 in the first half. They try to get the run going again, and Ian Johnson can't get away from Clay Soares. A gain of 3 for the junior Johnson from San Dimas, California, near Pasadena. His mom, a special education teacher. His dad, Sterling, a Los Angeles firefighter. They've made the trip over here to enjoy the Thanksgiving holiday with Ian and his wife, Chrissy. Most football fans remember Ian dropping to a knee and proposing to Chrissy right after the Fiesta Bowl win over Oklahoma. They were married in the summer. Jeremy Avery down to the 41-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and a yard. Solomon Elamimian made the tackle. There's Chrissy right in the middle of your screen, working for a property management company in the Boise area to support Ian.
Ian's younger sister sitting beside her. She came over, Gayla came over to make the trip. Just a family affair.
She's still a cheerleader, just not on the squad anymore.
Waiting to see a herky or a boy jump.
And they give it to Ian Johnson, and he got smoked. Walloped at the 42-yard line by David Vecune.
And a host of others. Greg McMacken.
Solomon Elamimian.
Yes, sir. The Greg McMacken told us he's going to keep it simple. Why do you keep it simple? Because you eliminate thought and you let your Warriors play. And you fly and keep great gap responsibility. And not only 1, 2, 3, but count them, 4 H's with making the stop.
Boise State took a while to ponder it. They're going to go for it on 4th down. 10 for 20 this season entering the game, and 1 for 1 on 4th down tonight. Play action on 4th and 2. A man wide open in the flat. Richie Brockel to the 26. That was a busted defense there. There wasn't anybody near Brockel. Desmond Thomas made the tackle, but it's a 16-yard gain and a 1st down for Boise State.
Yeah, Adam Leonard came off the coverage. Brockel's going to be in your picture right here. He's going to sneak out and run a nice little wheel route. And you're going to see Adam Leonard. He's on him, but he comes off his coverage because he's worried about Tharp. You can always break up on Tharp, but you've got to stay on your coverage. And Adam Leonard, as soon as that ball was thrown over his head, it was one of those, oh no, that's my fault.
Well, the drive is alive for Boise State. Under 11 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. They're down by 9. Avery bounced off the pile and showed his explosion. 1st down. Down to the 15. Myron Newberry made the tackle. on the redshirt freshman Avery, who did a nice job filling in those ball games while Johnson was hurt. Jeremy has 3 games of 100 or more this year out of Bellflower High School in California.
He's 5'9", and he hides behind those 6'3", 6'4" offensive linemen. Those guys are kind of tough to pick up.
Avery's nickname's Peanut. They stopped calling that because his mom didn't like it. Johnson faked the handoff on the reverse and gets back to the line, and that's about it. Ryan Mouton held his ground. Elamimium ran over there as well. Back into the bag of tricks again for Boise State. But the Hawaii defense, Chris, doing what Greg McMackin said they wanted to do. Nothing real fancy. Stay in their base defense and just be in good position to deal with all these tricks and the shifts and formation changes.
Yeah, again, and you know, I don't want to feed the stereotype, but the more you can eliminate thought from the defensive player, the more aggressive defensive player you will have.
And a little trickery. Johnson gave it off on the inside to Avery. And Ryan Mouton made another tackle. Play down near the 10-yard line. They'll spot it closer to the 7-yard gain. 3rd and short.
And anything to get it going, and Jeremy Avery have shown a little bit more of just a different type of back with a little bit more speed and burst. Ian's your slasher pounder with breakout ability, but this kid's that water bug, quicker than the hit cut type back.
Johnson's been mentoring these young backs. He said he learned a lot from the people he played behind, particularly Jeff Carpenter. Johnson on 3rd and short. Doesn't look like he got it. Well, those officials are not at the yellow line. That usually is right on.
You kick the field goal, Sean, you make it to a 6-point game.
Yeah, it's a 1-score game, and I think that's important. But the other part of it is you kind of anticipate a shootout in a Hawaii Boise State game, although these defenses are better than they're given credit for.
Yeah, they are.
And they're going to go for it. Chris Peterson has the entire offense over to the sideline. Tharp is coming back in at quarterback. They converted on 4th and 2 a moment ago.
I sneak it.
Tharp's a big guy too, sneaking with over 200 pounds. That's 6'2". He comes out throwing. It's Brockle again. Touchdown.
Trust, baby, trust. Trust your plays, trust your players to execute. 3 for 3 on 4th and 1s. All 3 passes.
And Brockle, the man on both 4th down plays.
Again, you have to read his angle. He's not coming to block. His shoulders are high. He's getting out to the flat. You get an over-anxious, over-pursuing defense. Easy pickings for Taylor and Brockle.
4th touchdown catch of the year for Richie Brockle. First thrown tonight by Tharp. His 28th touchdown pass of the season. And the extra point by Broxman gets Boise State within 2. And a long way to go. 9:03 left in the 3rd quarter with the WAC title up for grabs. Sean McDonough, Chris Spielman, Quint Kesnick. Hope you're having a great Thanksgiving weekend. We're thankful to have you with us. And what a game we have for you. Little post-Thanksgiving treat. WAC conference title on the line. Hawaii by 2 after the Boise touchdown. They took advantage of the short field after the Hawaii unsportsmanlike penalty. Caden Jones lost the ball, but he was down at the 30-yard line. Colt Brenna, 311 yards passing and 3 touchdowns. As he stands under center, thrown interception. He's 26 out of 33. Hawaii has rushed for 2 yards in this game. Brennan intercepted. Threw it right into the hands of Dallas Dobbs. And the run back to the 23-yard line. Dobbs has had a huge game. The junior from Las Vegas, who's a little older because he did a 2-year Mormon church mission in Argentina back 2001 to 03. When he came off that mission, he weighed 180 pounds. He's bulked back up to 220, and what a big play he just made.
Yeah, Colt takes it for granted, thinks he can fire it in there. He looked at Ballars trying to hopefully draw Dobbs to the outside. Dobbs playing good discipline, just cuts in front of the curl. One in front, one behind. Dobbs knew one was behind and made a good catch on a fastball from Colt.
Third interception of the year for Dobbs. Second thrown by Brenna tonight. Now Boise State poised to reclaim the lead, and it's Ian Johnson who put them ahead 7-0 with a 50-yard touchdown run to open the scoring tonight. He went for a few. Keala Watson made the tackle. Junior from here on the island of Oahu. Got married a couple of weeks ago to his high school sweetheart, Leona Wright.
What a way to celebrate. Nice honeymoon to a BCS trip would be nice for them, wouldn't it?
Would indeed. Both teams hoping for that eventuality. Here's Jeremy Avery, and oh my goodness, he got run over. It's Blaise Soros, who for a lot of reasons is one of Chris's favorite players we've seen this year, and now you particularly understand why.
Well, yeah. If Blaise is going to deliver slobber knockers like that, I'm all over him. All he does is shoot the gap right here, and watch him keep his eyes up, see what he hits what he sees, and brings his feet on contact and coming with bad intentions, and you put him on your back. That's the way to do it, Blaise. Woo! Man, I love that. Oh!
Battling hamstring injuries and shoulder injuries that have his arm in a harness. Now third down and 11. Tharp takes off. Oh, he took a wallop again. This one from Elamimian. Well, whoever said they play finesse football in the WAC hasn't watched these two teams play.
And Elamimian got him square, and I think Taylor fell. I mean, he's trying to make a move. Watch, he's going to lose his footing a little bit. This is a great open field tackle by Elamimian, and he keeps his head up, shoulders square, and brings the heat.
Now a field goal attempt to recapture the lead for Boise State. Kyle Broxman from 37 yards. How good is he? Boise State with 10 unanswered points. That's Dick Tharp, Taylor's dad. Happy to see his son get up, and the Broncos on top.
Boise up in this ball game, and a couple key notes from their sideline. Their secondary now with some injuries catching up to him. Rashawn Scott earlier, we said he was out with a knee injury. Orlando Scantrick, starting cornerback, left arm in a sling, and he is done for the day. That adds to Jerron Johnson, who did not dress today at all. And after that last hit, Chris, you saw Taylor Tharp working out his right shoulder. The trainers are looking at him right now, and he continues to try to loosen up his right shoulder after being popped on that last play.
All right, Quint, thank you for that excellent information. Broxman's kickoff down to Malcolm Lane. In this back and forth game, Hawaii down by a point now, and those two blocked extra points loom large. Brandon Thompson will probably play more in the secondary down there on special teams to run Lane out. Thompson's a backup DB. You watch this game, Chris. You see the speed, the athleticism, the talent, and you see two good teams against each other. You realize they are very good. All they can do is beat who they play, and that's what they've done. They are collectively 21-1.
Yeah, I look at these two teams, Sean, and they can beat anybody any given week. That's not a doubt. With the problem also with the weak schedule, what hurts them, besides Boise, Hawaii, and Fresno's on their way back, the rest of the WAC conference is not very good. Not very good at all. And that kills them. And their reputation.
Decent.
Yeah.
Louisiana Tech's had a very nice year under Derek Dooley, their new coach. Devon Best the catch. The ball to the 38-yard line. But I think when you see Boise State go to a Fiesta Bowl and win against Oklahoma last year, if Hawaii runs the table, to me, they should get the opportunity to play in a BCS bowl game, particularly now where there's all these 1- and 2-loss teams all over the place who haven't done anything to make the point that they're significantly better than Hawaii.
You make a great point, and when you have talent, and we see a lot of players every single week. I watch tons of college football, and you made a great point about talent on both sides of the ball for Boise and Hawaii.
Brennan retreating, now finds a running lane and slides down at the 33-yard line. Of course, if Hawaii can finish in the top 12 in the BCS standings, they are guaranteed a spot in the BCS Bowl. Right now they're 15th. Or if they can finish in the top 16 in the BCS and finish ahead of one BCS conference champion, they'll get a spot in a BCS Bowl. So they have to hope for things like Connecticut to beat West Virginia, and then maybe not be in the top 16 in the final BCS Bowl. Connecticut's 20 right now, but if they beat West Virginia, they're probably going to move up.
Yeah. And that or Ohio State getting in the national championship game, which will eliminate a Big Ten team from the BCS Bowl.
You continue to pound that drum, and it is more realistic with the results. LSU losing today. Jason Rivers tackled by Ellis Powers. So here's the traffic right around 15th ranked Hawaii as we look at the all-state ESPNU BCS standings. Boston College has Miami left, and then the ACC championship game. Hawaii should jump over Texas after their loss at A&M today, so that would move them at least to 14th, you'd think, but a lot of times Hawaii wins and they drop.
Yeah, Boise won and dropped last week. Tennessee jumped them. I mean, they're two good football teams, and all you got to do is watch the film and compare it to other films, athletes and players on both sides.
And Tennessee needed a last-second field goal to beat Vanderbilt, and still left over Boise State. Ryan Grice-Mullen down to the 11-yard line in this back-and-forth affair. Hawaii in position to reclaim the lead. 11-yard gain. Ellis Powers made another tackle. Backup linebacker who can also play in the secondary. Junior from Lakewood, California.
They've all thrown blocks for each other tonight. P blocks.
June Jones thinks they'll all play in the NFL. 4:10 to go third quarter. Colt Brennan. Fastball low and away. Intended for Malcolm Lane. It'll be 2nd and 10. June Jones survived a near fatal car crash in February of 2001. Says, I'm still sore every day when I get out of bed. Early on a weekday morning. Ran into a abutment here in the Honolulu area. And the folks who witnessed the crash behind him, EMTs who responded, were amazed he was alive. And if you see pictures of the car, it is amazing that he's alive. Serious internal injuries. Brennan throws, caught by Jason Rivers. And when you go through an experience like that, you appreciate even more moments such as these. Chance to lead a school in a state he loves. And one of the proudest moments in the history of athletics in this state. They love their Warriors here in Hawaii. And this is a chance to have their proudest moment ever as a program.
Sean, I had the good fortune to come over here and be a part of a football game, and the people of Hawaii are passionate about the great game of football, and it's shown here tonight.
3rd down and 5. They can get a first down at the 2. Brennan throws quickly, and it is caught. Touchdown. Jason Rivers with Kyle Wilson, a starting cornerback, draped all over him.
Well, it pays to have strong hands. Again, they go the fade stop. Kyle Wilson, pretty darn good coverage, but it's trust between Rivers and Brennan. And watch what I talk about the strong hands. Watch Kyle Wilson's hand go up and try to play the hands of Rivers, but his arm strength is able to secure the ball. Once he secures it with 2 hands, he puts it in 1 hand to get it out of the reach in the probing hands of Kyle Wilson.
31st career touchdown for Rivers. Hawaii will go for 2. They've had 2 extra points blocked. They'll go for 2. Try to make it a 7-point game. That's not a clear-cut decision in this situation with this much time left. But given the extra point problems, why not? Brennan back of the end zone, incomplete. Looking for Devon Best with 2 defenders near him. Marty Tadman came over to help the cornerback who's now playing regularly, the freshman Brandon Thompson, out there with the injury to Orlando Scandrick. You see this so often, Chris, when a team misses an extra point or 2, it affects them the rest of the game.
Yeah, you have to go for the 2, and the reason why that ball was not there because it was the ball was still.
That wasn't a 7-point game. Boston Smith. Whoa! One of the Warriors Warriors went hurtling up and over, head over heels. Smith went down to the 32-yard line.
I don't know why 45 went up head and over heels, because you accomplished nothing but taking yourself out of the play. You don't even take blockers out of the play. What you have to do is go and explode into the wall. Don't go over the wall.
Tharp throws incomplete, broken up by Gerard Lewis. Intended for Jeremy Childs.
It's a good job of Jeremy Childs not quitting on the play. Good throw by Tharp, again on time, hitting Childs out of the break. But Lewis showing good bursts and finishing.
A lot of interesting connections between Taylor Tharp and this Hawaii program. He's from Boulder, Colorado, where Colt Brenna started his career as a freshman. Taylor Tharp's dad, Dick, was the athletic director back then. Tharp throws, caught by Jeremy Childs, out to the 37-yard line. Taylor Tharp, out of high school in Boulder, was going to come here to Hawaii. Took a visit. He liked it. And June Jones said he's our kind of passer, very accurate. But at the last minute, Alex Brink, who had committed to come to Boise State as a quarterback, changed his mind and went to Washington State. That opened up a slot at Boise for Tharp, and he elected to go there instead of Hawaii.
Something to be said about a fifth-year senior waiting his turn and playing great football.
Five-man rush. Tharp stumbles down. Back at the 33. Second sack, and it's Blaze Soares again.
Pretty good job of protection, but Hawaii just playing with reckless abandon, and Taylor's got to make a decision. Either I throw the rock or I tuck the rock and run. Right here, make your decision. You see Blaze Soares. Clady's got a good hold on him, but Blaze Soares is playing with passion tonight. And he's getting some help from Clady, who kind of blocks him in to Taylor Tharp. Taylor, make your mind up. Throw or run. Let's go.
Kyle Brotzman the punt. Under 2 minutes to go, third quarter. Hawaii by 5. Rugby punt. They thought it might be a fake, so the deep man, Devon Best, came up, and the ball soared over his head. Last week, Brotzman on a fake completed a 30-yard pass on a fake punt. So Hawaii was thinking that might be the case again, or that Brotzman might run it. Best wasn't back deep enough to get the punt that rolled down to the 15-yard line. Brennan out of the gun. Shovel pass. The Aloha Polaris, the freshman, on the move across the 30 and out to the 34. Tackled by Brandon Thompson and Jason Robinson. Two players who ordinarily be backups in the secondary, but out there now due to injury.
This is what Boise has to do, Coach Wilcox, on the defensive side. Anytime you're getting aggressive, understand on first and second down, you have to have your inside people power rush and look for the shovel pass. That's how they set you up and slow you down the rest of the drive, is run the shovel.
Justin Wilcox, youthful defensive coordinator. Both coordinators are 30 years old on Chris Peterson's staff. Wilcox, a fine player at Oregon. Brian Harsin, the offensive coordinator, is 30. And that ball a little too high for Jason Rivers. 59 seconds to go, third quarter. Pulsating action here at Aloha Stadium with the WAC Conference Championship on the line. These two teams both 7-0 in conference play. And this is the conference finale for both teams. The last regular season game for Boise State. They come in at 10-1. Hawaii's 10-0. They'll play Washington to close out the regular season next weekend here.
Schleckaway was hanging on Colt Brennan's legs, did not allow him to follow through, which caused the overthrow. Schleckaway's been a force all night.
Brennan throws, caught, plenty of room. Devon Best hurdled one would-be tackler who was diving at his legs and went all the way to the 34 of the Broncos. Jason Robinson finally got on the ground, but that's a 28-yard catch and run by Devon Best.
There's a great athletic move by Devon Best. Kyle Wilson, I'll tell you what, come up and make a play. Wrap your arms. Don't go down there and tackle ground up rubber. Keep your feet, grab your arms, and see what your target is. And Best got that little shake and bake on him. I'm telling you, he's got a little shimmy to him and power.
149 yards receiving on 11 catches. 2 touchdowns for Best. Runs a 4.440 at 5'10", 190 pounds. Brennan forced to step up, wings it deep, man behind the defense. Touchdown, C.J. Hawthorne.
What do we talk about, Sean? Skandrick's out of the ball game, right? You got true freshman Thompson right there. CJ on a nice little move, takes him inside. Colt Brenna throws away from the coverage and throws CJ open, and I'm telling you, he does not miss.
38-yard touchdown pass. Kelly kicks the extra point with 26 seconds to go in the third quarter. Not just a one-man band. He has a deep core of receivers, a very good offensive line that June Jones says is the best that he's had in 9 years, and a defense that has made remarkable improvement with a lot of good athletes and beautifully coordinated by Greg McMackin, who said yesterday, please give the credit to my fellow defensive assistants because they do the lion's share of the work. Austin Smith muffed the kickoff, barely stayed in bounds. And now it's a Boise State special teams problem as Smith did not make the 5-yard line. Just over a quarter to go, and this sellout crowd is starting to think about the possibilities of an outright WAC title and a trip perhaps to a BCS bowl game. But as Chris said, other teams have made the mistake of counting out this Boise State team prematurely. Ryan Putnam got him a little breathing room, and that'll be the final play of the third quarter. Back and forth they go. 39-27, the Warriors after 3. Almost every fan at sold out Aloha Stadium standing as we go to the fourth quarter. Hawaii looking for the third WAC championship in their 29-year history in the conference. Their first outright, leads by 12, and Boise State converts on 2nd and 3 on the first play of the fourth quarter. Taylor Tharp to Julian Hawkins for the first down.
If you're Boise, you stay with your game plan. Short passing game, short passing game. You see if you can get the underneath coverage to bite a little bit, then you start hitting the 17 to 20-yard plus route.
Daniel Bissell's at quarterback. They go out of the shotgun on first down. He runs an option pitch to Jeremy Avery, who turned the corner and got out to the 47-yard line. Solomon Elamimian made the tackle. That last Hawaii possession took 4:40 off the clock. So much attention on the Hawaii offense over the years, but this is a defense that is going to begin to get its just due as well. Earlier this year, 20 tackles in a game against Utah State for Elamimian. Ian Johnson pulled down for a loss. Timo Pepule, who just came in for Elamimian, made the tackle, and the clock runs down near 8 minutes remaining.
That's a sign of Hawaii's growth. We talk about the depth of Boise State. Right there, Timo comes in, plays his responsibility, and makes a play.
Taylor Tharp, fifth-year senior, first-year starter, waited a long time to play in games like this. Now he has to make plays, and he does. A bullet to Jeremy Childs. He beat Gerard Lewis to the inside. First down, 16-yard gain to the 38.
Well, they run the skinny post right here. Lewis comes in and undercuts it and actually gets his hand there. He just loses his balance. Childs, great concentration, uses that big body to box him out.
And that pass in the direction of Childs, again incomplete. Childs over 100 yards receiving on 8 catches tonight in the game in which he has set the single season record for receptions, now at 82.
Coach Mack staying aggressive. Lots of zone blitzes. They're being able to get pressure, but they're protecting against the deep ball.
Elamimian back on the field. 2nd and 10. Midway through the 4th quarter. A screen. Ian Johnson, a great move at the line, and has a first down. It was Elamimian who ran him down, but that's good for 11. And Tharp has them briskly on the move, trying to make it a 1-score game.
Yeah, they screen away from the 3 receiver side. You get the defense out there adjusting. You get the big hawk mollies down there getting bodies on a little guy. Nobody accounted for the speed of Elamimian.
You have to think at this juncture, they're in 4 down territory throughout the drive. A field goal really doesn't no good. They'd still be down by 2 scores. With time running out, Tharp throws short for Julian Hawkins. Nice tackle in space by Eric Robinson, a backup defensive back, junior from Dallas, Texas.
Taylor Tharp is going to come back, and he's going to look for the tight end sitting over the middle. He's been wide open 3 times in a row. He has not yet to see him. Somebody in the box has got to whistle down there and say, hey, look for the tight end, Taylor. Be patient. He's coming open with nobody around him.
Tharp, a communications major, will graduate next month. Would like to get into coaching. 2nd down and 6. Hit as he throws, and a wobbly ball over the head of Jeremy Childs with Myron Newberry in coverage. Eric Robinson came on a safety blitz and put the hit on Tharp just as he threw. Boise State has won 5 straight WAC titles. That streak in serious jeopardy now. They've won 9 straight games this season since their only loss back in September to Washington. The only loss in 2 seasons for Chris Peterson as head coach. A blitz on 3rd and 6. Tharp with time, and it's broken up. Intended for Childs, it's Ryan Mouton, who's been a standout in the secondary for Hawaii tonight.
That's the deep comeback route. Taylor Tharp has an awful long throw to make. It's a good throw, but Mouton right on the hip pocket of Childs, reading his mail and coming up. Good job of avoiding the contact and getting the long arm around there and avoiding contact on the back.
Have to go for it on 4th down, and you have to think they have to make it with an eye toward the WAC title. Down by 12 and time running out. They're 3 for 3 on 4th down tonight. Tharp under duress is stripped. Ball's out. No matter what, Hawaii will take over at the 35. Josh Leonard recovered it. And it looked like David Vekune got to the quarterback and knocked the ball free.
Pure speed, Sean, and energy, and this is why Hawaii can bring 10 defensive guys right here. Vekune is going to come, and let's see what the move is that he uses. Lady messes up, miscommunication, and you're coming and they do a good job of stripping the football. Well, actually, no. John Fonoti comes in and makes the
yep.
play.
Vekune was there too, from the front side, and Fonoti from the back.
Clady had a misassignment. He blocked down, nobody's coming. He didn't get out quick enough. Wide open lane.
Yeah, the voters have to respect the resume of Boise State and acknowledge that this is an impressive win for Hawaii if it stays in the win column. Kealoha Polaris, the freshman, smart enough to go down in bounds. Marty Tadman made the tackle. First down at the 34-yard line.
You know why I know this is a team? Because his receivers, they block. And they block on the perimeter, and they block for each other, and they block for their buddies. They go as hard in blocking as they do with run after catches.
Brennan took the snap at 2. Short pass to Bess. And he's had a career night. That is his 15th catch. A single game high. He continues to add to an incredible resume. Another first down. 15 catches, 181 yards for Navon Bess and 2 touchdowns. We're joined by Carl Benson, the outstanding commissioner of the WAC. Well, last year he had a great story. Boise State wound up the only undefeated team in the country at the end of the year and won the Fiesta Bowl. What do you think of your chances of getting Hawaii into a BCS bowl game if this score stands?
Sean, we said all along that a 12-0 undefeated Hawaii WAC champion certainly should have an opportunity to play. I believe in the system. I think the system will prove itself.
You feel they've made quite a statement? We've been talking all night long. This is a good opponent they're playing.
It really is. I think this validates the season that they've had thus far, and hope that the polls will respect that.
Is it frustrating for you? We've talked about Michigan State opted out of a game with Hawaii. Texas in recent years has opted out. Hawaii's being penalized, it seems, for what's the weak schedule. At least the perception of it's a weak schedule. But yet all they can do is beat who they beat. And you made the point, they've won 3 games the last 3 weeks against good opponents, and yet they've dropped in some of the polls. You were quoted in USA Today the other day saying you were terribly disappointed by that development.
Well, surprised and disappointed, but again, the polls are volatile and they change from week to week. And I hope come Sunday that again the polls will recognize what they did here tonight.
How much does it hurt where the bottom half of the WAC isn't as strong as you would like it to be from a national perception?
Chris, I think that's valid, and we need to get better in the bottom half of the league. But the top half right now, especially with Boise State and Hawaii, Fresno State coming on, Nevada, we've got 4 or 5 very, very outstanding football teams in the WAC this year.
Third down upcoming here for Hawaii. 2:42 to go. And Boise State has used its last timeout. It'll be second down actually in 6. Well, you've been making the case very eloquently, and I read in the paper that you've actually used the services of a consultant. You've done a great job yourself getting the message out, but you wanted some help to make sure that your teams get a fair shake in the national eye.
We just wanted to make sure that we did everything we could to promote Boise State, promote Hawaii, and promote 2 outstanding players in Colt Brenna and Ian Johnson.
What I hope is that the voters or the decision makers watch this game tonight like they're obligated to and see what kind of product was put out in the field this evening.
It's the type of game that I think we talked about and expected, a war out there between 2 very, very good football teams that deserve consideration for the BCS.
Second and 6. Polaris about 2 yards short of a first down, but now Boise State cannot stop the clock. Any more convincing you want to do while we have you here?
No, again, the BCS system was very, very good to the WAC a year ago at Boise State, and hope that Hawaii can finish next week against Washington and represent the WAC again, just like Boise State did a year ago.
And we should not put the cart ahead of the horse. Obviously, Hawaii needs to beat Washington, or it's going to be a moot point. But I think what Boise State did in the Fiesta Bowl certainly helps your cause, Carl. Congratulations on a great year for the WAC and for the great job that you do leading this conference.
Thank you very much.
It's Carl Benson. Polaris might have gotten the first down. Almost looked like he took for granted he was going in the end zone. You heard the crowd roar. They thought he was in, but it does look like he got the first down based on the spot. Jason Robinson prevented the touchdown.
Yeah, I think
he slows down.
Slowed down a little bit, and what a hit put on. And the Bronco defenders not quitting, but the initial hit put in by Robinson coming up and stopping the momentum. Polaris probably thought he was going to go in.
He was Cadillacing. He thought he was in. Robinson and Kyle Ging said no. Ryan Winters swiped there as well. And I would think Hawaii, out of respect for this great champion Boise State, will just take a knee. Greg McMackin loves June Jones. Coached here his first year with June in 1999. Left, went to the NFL when Texas Tech, and has come back. And he said, I want to stay with this great man, an outstanding coach, for as long as he'll have me.
If I'm Hawaii, I start working on that contract because he's built this program again.
The price to keep him just went up. And if they do get to a BCS bowl game, let's hope they spend some of the money on facilities here, because, folks, if you saw their practice field and their office buildings, You'd be amazed that they could have this kind of success with their facilities in, quite frankly, an embarrassing state of disrepair. The University of Hawaii Warriors, for the first time in the history of the program, are outright WAC champions. Their third conference title in all in 29 years. They are 11-0 for the first time in school history. They've now won a school record 12 straight games, a school record 15 straight WAC games, and they have made a major statement to the voters and Colt Brenna to the Heisman voters as well, as he threw for 495 yards and 5 touchdowns tonight. Here's Quint Kesnick with June Jones.
Thank you, Sean. Coach, what does this win mean for your program?
Well, it's huge. You know, we set out at the start of the season to get to these final 2 games undefeated, and we knew what it was going to take. We're going to have to do that to beat Boise. I'm proud of the guys. They hung in all year. We've done it against all odds, and Colt Brenna's the best football player in America.
How can you characterize this play?
Well, he played very well. You know, he had the bad thing happen to him on the interception, but he came right back and put us in the end zone. These kids have a never say die. It's been awesome.
Boise's up 27-26 in the third. What made the difference late third and into the fourth?
Well, Cole went down and put the ball on some of the receivers right away. And, you know, the kids made plays. Devon and Ryan Grice-Mullen and the catch Jason Rivers made in the end zone, just unbelievable.
Congratulations, Coach.
All right, thanks.
Sean, absolute mayhem down here.
Well, June Jones said yesterday, yes, this is the biggest game in school history. But he said if we win, next week's game will be the biggest. And that's the case when the Washington Huskies will come to town to try to spoil the Warriors' party. Final score, Hawaii 39, Boise State 27. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Now for Chris Spielman, Quint Kesnick, and the rest of our ESPN2 crew, Sean McDonough saying, Happy Thanksgiving, aloha and mahalo from Honolulu. Let's send you to Anaheim now.